Hi everyone, I'm back. I know it's been about 6 weeks since my last floss tube and I'm sorry, but I'm here and I'm glad to be here and I hope you enjoy what you see today and I have missed you all. Today is March 2nd, 2021 and this is my floss tube channel all about cross stitch, hoops and needles. And today I'm coming to you from Northeast Florida and it is a rainy, yucky day. And unfortunately, my days off from work are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And guess what? Those are the only days it's supposed to rain. Lucky me, huh? So, what have I been up to? Work. My work is going good. Me and my hubby celebrated our 38th wedding anniversary on February 12th. And so on the 13th through the 15th, we went down to Sarasota, Florida, Siesta Key, and stayed there for a couple days and had a blast. Loved it down there. Want to go back. It's gorgeous. The people are friendly. There's plenty to do. And it's a different world than up here in Northeast Florida. So we definitely will be going back there. Other than that, I've been stitching a lot. So I have a lot to show you. I have a lot of whips. I have a few finishes. No FFOs. I have some plans. I have some previous finishes that aren't FFOs. And then I have some springtime stuff that I made into pillows that I want to show you and stuff. So yeah, let's get started with the stitchy stuff. If you're a new viewer, thank you for checking me out. I hope you like something, you see something you like and you'll subscribe and hit the like button. And if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you so much. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoy the show today and we will get started. So first up is, I'm going to be looking at my notes, is my FOs, and I have 3 of those. And the first one up is February Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. And this is why I don't like stitching seasonal stuff. I mean, I like stitching it, but I have a problem with finishing it. I stitched this and finished it, or I stitched this and didn't finish it, and so it is just sitting till next year, I guess. But this is February Wordplay by Brenda Gervais, and the only thing I changed was it called for 2 different reds, and I only had 1, so I just kept the 1. In fact, I think I changed the 1 to Turkish Red, Week Side Work, which is my favorite. So that is that, and I changed the color of love to red, so it'll pop out. But yeah, that's February Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. Stitched on 36 count fabric. I don't remember what it is. The next one is AE to EE by Kathy Barrick. I stitched this on 14 count Ada, hand dyed by me using 310 black DMC, and I changed the initials to me and my husband's initials using my maiden one and the date we were married. And here it is. And I really enjoyed this one. I love Kathy Barrick's patterns. If you've never stitched one, you need to check her out. She has some gorgeous patterns and some new ones, gorgeous, coming out at market. And this third one is Rose Hips and Ivy by Blackbird Design. It's in their sewing club book. It's the first one in there. It's I'm gonna have it made into a drum. And I did finish this, but then I didn't. If you look on the little round piece, there's 2 little dots. I need to finish the buds around those. But that is that. And I really enjoyed this one, and I love the colors. Blackbird hits it out of the park every time. Can't go wrong with Blackbird designs. So that is Rose Hips and Ivy, their first pattern in their sewing club book. And I stitched it on 36 count. I think it's mystery fabric out of my stash and used the called for colors on it. So those are my 3 FOs. I don't have any FFOs. I do have whips. Let's get into the whips now. Okay, first up will be, well, I'll just go what I have on top. This is the second time recording this. I recorded it yesterday, and I'm hoping it works. I recorded it on my phone yesterday, and it looked fine on the phone, and when I played it back on my phone, it looked fine. But when I uploaded it to YouTube, I was a ghost again. I don't know why the colors changed from uploading it on my phone to YouTube, but I look like a ghost again. So I tried everything to correct it and nothing worked. So hopefully videotaping this on my iPad, it will be better. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this works. So first up will be Elizabeth Weston. I didn't do that much on her. I think I just did a couple of the overwhelmed words. This is what she'll look like. She's a big girl and she's gorgeous, pink. And this is what I have done so far. Let's get this. And like I said, I just did a couple more of the overwhelmed words. And this is on hand-dyed 36 count by me using the called for DMCs. And hopefully I will get back to her more this month, because I really enjoy stitching her. Next up is Victorian Violets by Just Nan. This is what she'll look like when she's done. I was doing this as a stitch along with my girlfriend Heather, and she's a Speedy Gonzalez, and she's finished hers and framed hers. But this is where I'm at on mine, using the called for DMCs on I believe a 28 count even weave. So that's Victorian Violets by Just Nan. Let's see, the next up is my Mandala Turtle, and I didn't bring the pattern over. But this is where I'm at with this one. I did some of the arm here and started on the shell. Or I finished the arm and did some of the shell. And this is on 36 count hand-dyed fabric by me using the called for DMCs. Okay, next up is Modern Folk Embroidery. Our EGA is having a stitch along of his patterns, and so this is the one I picked. The Jane Austen Comfort at Home. I'm not doing the alphabet, I'm just going to do stop right below the houses. And I am doing this, I believe, on 36 count Russian tea cake using Gentle Arts Claret. And this is where I'm at. And that's the thread. Okie dokie, let's move on. A couple more here. This is Martha S. Scott And did I thought I brought the pattern. I don't see it anywhere. But Kim Goldberg was stitching this one, and I fell in love with her, so I went out and bought the pattern. And this is also a new start, and that is where I'm at. I'm stitching this on 36 count hand-dyed fabric by me, using the called for colors. And again, it's Martha S. Scott. Let me look up, I can see who, I think it's GGR as a designer. Let's see. Yes, by GGR. I started it on February 3rd. I have my little book here, my calendar book that I keep track of all my stitching and my stickers. I really love this book. I love nature. I love anything to do with outdoors. They have pictures of birds and flowers. I'll show you. Look at this one. This one's gorgeous. Just shout spring. But yeah, I'm using my stickers and I'm writing down everything I stitch on that day. Let's see. There's another pretty one. Oh, little duckies. So yeah, that's what I keep my stitching record in and stuff. So that is by GGR, Martha S. Stewart. I think it's like 1836, something like that. So that's that one. And then here is Blackbird, Christmas Garden, but I'm changing it to English Garden. And this is what it'll look like. Well, this is what it's supposed to look like. Mine will not look like this. And this is what mine looks like. And that is where I'm at. I'm almost to the end. I was hoping to finish that band in February, but of course I fell down the rabbit hole with Martha and a couple others, and it didn't get done. But I'm almost there. I'm hoping to finish it in March. But yeah, this is stitched on 36 count hand-dyed fabric by me, using DMC threads. If you would like to know the thread colors I use, just comment below and I will be more than glad to tell you them. I got the idea of doing that from Stone Street Stitch Works, Selma. She did hers that way and I just fell in love with it. It gives it, to me it's more of a old-fashioned, antique-ish looking sampler. And then my mom was from England, and so when she did English Garden instead of Christmas Garden, I had to jump on it, and so that's what I am going to be doing on that one. The next two, the last two, are new starts for me. I fell down hard down this rabbit hole. I kept looking at the stitching on IG, Instagram, and I kept saying, oh God, that's pretty. Oh man, that's gorgeous. Oh, I love that one. I can't start another one, can't start another one. And finally I just said, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. So I did, and this is Land That I Love by Theresa Koger. Gorgeous sampler. She has been knocking it out of the park since last market and this market with her samplers and her patterns. I love every one of them. And the patterns are very easy. I mean, this is how it comes. It comes already bound, professionally bound, comes on strong paper and the pattern is easy to read. So I highly recommend Theresa Koger's patterns. So that's Land That I Love, and this is where I'm at. Stitching this on 36 count hand dyed fabric by me, using DMC and over dyes. I switched out a couple of them, but yeah, that is, that is going very well. I'm enjoying that one. Here is, just to let you know, I just saw I had this. This is the Blackbird drum one I finished. That's what it will look like when it is done. And the next one, I meant to get the fabric for it. I have the fabric already. I'm gonna be starting this week probably, and that is this one, another drum. This one's called In My Garden. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'm going to be stitching my way through this book. This is the Sewing Club book by Blackbird Design. I'm going to be stitching everything in this book, starting from the first one to the last one. I don't know how long it'll take. I was hoping a year, but that last one took a lot longer than I expected, only because I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I stitch on multiple things, and so it's taking me longer than I thought. So whenever I get done, I'll get done, but I am stitching every project in this book. It is an awesome book, just like their other books, and their autumn one is right up there too, so I might be stitching everything in their autumn one. But yeah, go buy Blackbird. It's a rule. It's a law. Here's, I knew I had this. Here is, see, I'm all over the place. Sorry. Here is Martha S. Scott 1876. And this is, mine doesn't look at all like the picture. I mean, where there's red, I have pink. So it's just, but it's a gorgeous sampler. Right now, I think I'm working on this basket right here. But yeah, it's a pretty one. So then here is my last one, which is March Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. And that's what it looks like in the picture, not what mine's gonna look like. And this is why I don't do seasonal very often, because I stitch them and I don't finish them. FFO them. And that's all I have on that one. And this is hand-dyed fabric by me too. When I dye my fabric, I use Rip dye. So I have 2 big plastic tubs of dye that I use. And so that's what I do. And then I have a little book that if a color turns out that I really like, I write down the color so I can dye it again, over again. So that is how I dye my fabric. So what is next? Those were all my whips. I had 8 whips, active whips. I had 3 finishes, so not too bad. Let's see. Let's go into previous finishes. Now these are stitched, but they're not FFO'd. And I have a lot more of these that I will be showing. First up is, hopefully I'll get this finished before July, but first up is July Prairie Schooler. Stitched on 28 count T coffee dyed Monaco by me and using the DMC colors. I really love this one. Another pattern designer you can't go wrong with, Prairie Schooler. So there's July. This one is, I think, by country. See if I have the patterns here. Yeah. Country Cottage Needleworks, and it's red, white, and bloom. And that is this one. 28 count Monaco, coffee tea dyed using, I believe, the called for colors. And this next one, it's an out of print Blackbird design. Hopefully they'll reprint it, but it's Beneath the Sunlit Sky. And this is when I need to get framed. And I just added mine and my husband's initials and the date we were married. And I believe I used the called for colors. And I think it's stitched on, let's see. I used 2 threads, so probably 28 count. Now it looks like a loose weave, so it might be the old Week Dye Works one, but enjoyed that one, and I really enjoyed this next one. This is Spot of the Bay Sampler by the Bay Needle Arts, and this was a fun one to do. All those motifs, which you can take off and make like little scissor fobs or pillows or whatever. Just a fun one to stitch. And here is mine. This is already dyed fabric. I forget what it was. And I used the called for colors, and here is mine. It's like a gray color fabric. So that was a fun one. I need to get that one framed too. And then last but not least, this is either Fresh Eggs or Farm Fresh by Cross-Eyed Cricket. And I think one of the frames I picked up this past weekend at the Goodwill, I'm gonna use for this one. I think it fits perfect. I just have to paint it and distress it, and then it'll go in there. So hopefully I will get that done too. And this, I think, is stitched on a 36 count. Yep, 36 count fabric. So those are my previous finishes that aren't FFO'd. Now I got 3 small pillows that are FFO'd that I'm gonna put out for spring. First one up, this was in like one of the magazines, print, but you'll recognize it when you see it. If you want to know what the patterns are, just comment below and I'll look them up. But that I finished with polka dot fabric, a little cutie. And then this one I had Faye from Carolina Stitcher finish for me. This is a Blackbird one called Home. Love this one. Love how she finished it. I believe I used the called for colors, and I believe this is on 36 count, yes. And then this is a, do I have the pattern? I don't think I have the pattern for this one. Nope. Excuse me, either Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage, and it's this one. I know it says summer, but it looks spring to me. Finished it with some lace, added a little button and bow there, and then added some purple fabric on the back. And this one is stitched on, I believe, 28 count. Yep. So those will go in my basket. So those are my FFO previous finishes. So now what my plans are to continue working on my whips, hopefully finish Blackbird design. And if I finish Blackbird design, which I'm going to push myself to finish, I'm going to bring out this one and work on this till it's done. It's Mary Jane Small Mint 1836 by Brenda Gervais. Love this one. Here are the threads for it. There's the blue. There's the threads. And here she is. So this will be the next one I pull out to bring out to stitch on as soon as Christmas garden is done. And that's how much I have done of her. So I have the border vine all done. Some of the motifs done. So yeah, she'll be the next one. This is a 36 count fabric I'm stitching on. So that's my plan. Unless I fall down another rabbit hole, then my plans go out the window. So what I want to show you now are, I had Little Haul. I had the Land That I Love pattern. I had GGR pattern. And then I got this pattern by Plum Street. So that is my haul. So now what I want to do is I'm stitching all these big ones and then the small seasonal one. But I want to do some smalls that aren't seasonal that I can stitch and finish hopefully right away and put in my basket. So I pulled some patterns out that I thought would be good as a contender for that. So I'm going to go through those right now with you. They're Plum Street, Scarlet House, Brenda Gervais, and Stacy Nash. So we'll start with the Scarlet House on Stoneware Street, this one. And what I consider a small is under 100 stitches. So this one is 98 by 63. And then Stacy Nash ones. This one is Let's Meet at the Garden Gate Pink Heap. And that, well, this one's not under 100, but it's 137 by 59. I really like that one. This one is 30, didn't say the count. It's 6.5 by 8.5, and it's called House on Pumpkin Hill Pink Heap. Someone stitched this last year, and I just fell in love with it. Merry Christmas Pink Heap. Another one. Throw out the 100 stitches. 123 by 87. This one is Blessed Be by Brenda Gervais, and it is 95 by 95. Someone just recently finished this one, or maybe they were showing the pattern, and it's so cute. This is Basket Full of Summertime by Brenda Gervais. And this is Christmas Tea by Brenda Gervais. Love those mice. And then for Plum Street, and I just saw someone on Instagram that finished all the salt box on one piece. So I copied the picture and put it in my photos because I love that idea and I think I'm going to do that one. But here's summer salt boxes. Here is Bless Our Land. And here is Sampler House. So those are my plans. I'm going to start stitching smalls, continue with the whips if I finish. No, I will finish Christmas Garden so I can bring out, start stitching, stitching Mary Jane Goodman, Smallman, Mary Jane Smallman, 1836, and stuff. So other than that, I don't think, oh yes I do, where's my book? I do. I have some new Flosstubers I have been watching. They are brand new. They only have a couple episodes out, and I will list them below after I end this and put in my notes, but I highly recommend you go check them out. Some of them have already been mentioned in other floss tubes, so I just want to give another shout out to them. So the first one up is Nicky Noodles out of Australia. She is a hoot. I love her style, her voice, her accent, her stitching, and she had her son on the last episode and it was awesome. So go check out Nicky Noodle and enjoy her floss tube as much as I have. The next one is, I need my glasses, Susan Standley, Stitch in Time, and that's Standley. She is a quilter and a stitcher, but she is awesome. She knows a lot of history. Her quilting is phenomenal. But yeah, she's a joy to watch. She's very interesting to listen to too. She's awesome. Go check her out. Let's see. Katherine Adrian, Adrian. She is another awesome cross stitcher. Her style is like mine, and her projects are gorgeous. So she's another one you need to go check out. And then Jenni Stitching Simply. She's sweet. Her kids, her one son does a recording. In fact, he talked her into doing a floss tube. She lives by the simple rule, simpler the better. She doesn't use a lot of gadgets. She stitches in hand. She uses only DMC, or mostly DMC. And yeah, so she's a very, very good person to go watch and awesome to listen to. So those are the floss tubes those are the new ones I have been watching. I have watched many of the regulars that I've enjoyed. There's thousands of them out there. So if you are watching this and you subscribe and like, I really appreciate it, because I know there are hundreds and hundreds out there to watch. And if you picked mine to watch, I love you. So I hope, excuse me, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope it's dry where you are, because it's not here in Florida, Northeast Florida. It is wet, and it's supposed to be wet all day today and tomorrow, so I guess I will be stitching. So I hope you all have a glorious day, and I will hopefully see you in 2 weeks and not 6 weeks. Have a blessed day. See y'all later. Bye.